Hi, this is Rob Sin. Welcome again to Stats Class. This is the second video of the semester, and I'm showing you D2L. Why? Well, because I want you to take a look over here and start here. You can see there is a link to the textbook. You can see and some other things that will be helpful, but I am going to click on the start here. Why? Well, because there is something right here that you need to be aware of. There is a course calendar, and what's really cool is that the course calendar has a bunch of links that we'll need. So I am going to click on it, and you can see that we've jumped in here to the course calendar, and let me click inside the table, and you can scroll over to the right, and you can see that there are assignments, and that'll let you know what's available. It'll let you know, what things are due this week, links to the assignments, and links to the lecture notebooks. So on Thursday, when I do a video, we'll actually click on this. This LNB stands for Lecture Notebook. And these are what we'll be using during the videos to give you some commands to start with so that you're um, so that you get everything initialized properly, and this will be the starting code that we need to do statistics. Now, what am I doing here today? I'm doing first day assignment. If you go and look in the assignments tab, there's actually an assignment due on Friday, okay? And it's this one. So just click on this. And what happens when you click on this is it goes into the Ung Data Hub. Okay, what is that? So that's a UNG specialized area where all the instructors and students have their own places to save things. Okay, so you'll have an assignment that looks like this. Now, I am going to tell you initially how to navigate. I'm on the first cell. If I hit Shift Enter, it executes the cell and goes to the next one. Now you'll notice that this says Markdown. You'll see it switch to code in here in just a minute, but it talks about what we're going to do. And in today's worksheet, this is what we're going to learn. Okay. And this is an example of a Jupyter notebook. And again, hit Shift Enter, Shift Return. And then this is about the cells. And the first question is, what is your name? And it says by replacing the ellipsis inside the quotation marks below with your name. And you can see I've done that here. What you'll probably see on yours is just the ... Okay? And you can come in here and don't erase the quotation marks. You notice that it says inside the quotation marks, sorry, inside the quotation marks is the important part. So come in and delete the 3 ellipses, and then you can type your name. Okay, and my first name is Rob. Well, it's actually my version of my middle name, but there you go. There's my name. And then I am a blank this year, so you're supposed to fill in the blank, and I just pretended that I'm a junior. But if you're a freshman, you put 1. If you're a sophomore, you put 2. And if you're a senior, you put 4. And apparently dual enrollment status puts you at 5. You're above everybody. But I just put in 3 just to make sure that everything was working properly. And so what I think you should do, if you haven't done so yet, is you should pause this video and go open D2L and click on this link and get to this assignment. Why? Because in about 5 minutes, you can both watch the video and finish this assignment. Replacing the ellipses with your major, again, you'll see something like this. Sorry, I meant to put ... Okay, and then you just see my major is ... But if I instead, sorry about that, if I instead put math as my major, then I come down here and I get my major as math. So finish up these questions with a 2. You get to rate your extroversion on a scale of 0 to 10. And I don't know, I'll put 4. And you see, I consider myself somewhat introverted. And then Han, average how many people you text a week. So you'll notice that I selected 1. And 1 is if you text between 0 and 5 people. I just don't text that many people, honestly. And then if it's between 6 and 10 people, you'd select 2. And then 3 is between 10 and 20. And 4 is for 20 or more people. Wait, more than 20 people. Okay. So I selected 1 and put it here. Shift Enter. And then all you have to do is run this cell. And as it says, don't edit it in any way. All you have to do is run it. And oops, something about name is wrong. Let me show you what happened here. It just didn't get executed after I changed it. There we go. I think that's what happened. And I get back to my introduction and I still don't have something. What is going on? Yes, so it appears that something got messed up and I don't know exactly what. But this is what you want. You want a document like this, and if you do get your name entered properly, and I've messed up the document apparently, and I can't find where I've done that, the document prints out a nice little introduction for you. Okay, so what's the assignment? Well, the assignment is to do the introduction, and then we're just learning how to download the notebook. And I want to talk about this IPyMB, okay? And IPyMB, we call it IPyMB. It means that the file extension is IPYNB, which is basically a Python notebook, interactive Python notebook. Okay. So we're supposed to download it as HTML and IPyMB. No, those instructions are old. I want you to download it as a PDF. However, I'm just going to admit about 10% of you, your computer is going to refuse to do the PDF. Let's see if mine will do it. So all you have to do is go to File, Download as PDF. Okay. And when I click this, we'll see. It's working. We'll see if it decides to garble or actually download the PDF. I'm going to pause the video for a second. Okay, so this actually, I believe, downloaded an assignment, and I don't know how well you can see that, but it's the first day assignment as a PDF, and let me just X out of that. So yes, we were successful, and we did download as PDF. Why do I prefer PDF? Well, there's 2 reasons. First of all, I can actually get to your IPyMB file inside the Jupyter Hub. So as instructors, we have access to your saved files on the Data Hub. And if worst comes to worst, then if worst comes to worst, I can actually log in to the Data Hub as me and then search for your files. So I don't really need your IPyMB file. Why do I prefer the PDF? By the way, the HTML almost never breaks. It rarely breaks. Oops, let me execute that again. But normally, HTML is our fallback. So again, just file, download as HTML. And again, it's actually you can see the HTML actually came up, and then you can see this. Now, what's the difference between the HTML, which looks great, right? This looks like an exact carbon copy of what we had. Well, we don't have any graphics. If you have any bar graphs or histograms or scatter plots or any kind of graphics at all, a line plot, they won't show up in HTML. So my preference is that you download this assignment, and like the assignment says, you're going to have a way to rename it, right? So you're going to download it, and then that file you're going to name this. Why? Well, again, if we're grading these, we might have 15 of these PDF files open. And if they're named with your name, your last name, and your first name and an initial, And then first day, this part is the assignment, right? But if we have that part, sorry, I keep executing the file, but if we have both the first day, so we know what assignment it is, and we have the file named as your name, your last name, your first name, and your middle initial, then we can tell them apart if we have multiple versions, multiple people's open. And, we're trying to grade them quickly, so a lot of times we'll open a dozen or more at the same time and then grade them all and then enter the grades and then move on. And it's just a little harder if your file names are different. So that's going to become very important later. But for right now, go ahead and do it just to show you can. Go ahead and rename that PDF or HTML file. So my first preference is the PDF, but again, some people will have trouble getting their computers to cooperate. Sometimes my computer refuses to cooperate. If it will not produce a PDF file for you, then download as HTML and then submit. That's all you have to do is submit the PDF or HTML file on D2L by Friday at midnight. Okay? Too easy, right? I hope you understood what we're supposed to do. If you have any questions, please check with me. Remember that Teams is the best way to communicate with me. You can also email in an emergency if you need to. And I hope you have a great evening.